Okay, so we just watched the video that had some really great animation around this poem from Rumi, In the Silence of Love. So what I want to do now is I want to read through the poem. Go ahead and download. The link is in chat to the document of the poem itself, just the words. Make sure that you have that in front of you. And I'm going to pronunciate the poem. I'm going to read the poem. I want you to listen for some things. I want you to listen for words that you know. I want you to listen for words that you don't know. And I want you to circle any words that you don't know on the document. Or if you want to keep it digital, you could just highlight it, however you want to do it. But any words that you really don't know, and we want to make sure to raise your hand and let me know so we can go over the meaning so everybody in the class understands all of the words that we're reading. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this poem, we're going to break up into groups, we're going to assign an image to a stanza of the poem. So an image that says visually the same thing that the words say in the poem. And ultimately, you're going to create a series of images to explain the meaning of the poem. And you're going to record yourself reading the poem, focusing on your own pronunciation. So this time, I'm just going to read the poem. I want you to listen for words that you know, words that you don't know. And I want you to also listen for repetition. Listen to the author using repetition in the poem. Repetition is a device that the author uses in this poem. So let's listen for repetition. So this is In the Silence of Love by Rumi. I choose to love you in silence, for in silence I find no rejection. I choose to love you in loneliness, for in loneliness no one owns you but me. I choose to adore you from a distance, for distance will shield me from pain. I choose to kiss you in the wind, for the wind is gentler than my lips. I choose to hold you in my dreams, for in my dreams you have no end. So what are some ideas about what this poem is about? I accented some of the words. What are some words that stick out? What is the meaning of this poem? And do you find that it says one thing and means another? When it talks about, I choose to love you in loneliness, those are kind of opposites, right? Love, but loneliness. I choose to adore you from a distance, from far off. The distance will shield me from the pain. So it's interesting that the author is talking about love, adore, connect, but also loneliness, distance, safe from pain. So let's go into the meaning of these words. And let's do it by choosing some images. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to Google image search. That's a tool we use often. And I want you to choose images that to you represent the meaning of the words. We're going to break up into groups. Each group will have a stanza or a couple of lines of the poem to choose an image for. You'll choose the image as a group, and then we're going to share that image with each other. So I wanted to give you some examples first of what I'm talking about. So, for instance, love in silence art. Let me get it here. So this image, love in silence, love in silence, love, silence, So there's a lot of images we could choose from. They can be abstract, they can just be colors, they can be things that obviously say the meaning of the words. That's up to you. I want you to represent the meaning that you feel from the words. Let's try another one. How about, we talked about what the word rejection means. That might be a new word. So what about this image says rejection? And I want to point out that on the top, you can use some of the themes and it'll put it into context. Sad, pain. Also, I always like to use art that gives more of an animation feel. So I want you to, I'll break you up into rooms automatically. You'll be in breakout rooms, and I want you to talk to each other about the 2 lines of poems that you have, talk about the meaning, and then talk about a design language or what the look of the images are going to be, and then do some search on Google search image and come up with those images. In about 10 minutes, we'll come back together and then we'll show up and share the images that we use to represent the meaning of our stanzas. Are there any questions?